Real Country with Robert Miguel.
KVOU Sports with Drew, presented by Chicago Title.
104.9 Coyote Country.
That's right, time again for KVOU Sports with Drew.
Yeah!
There you go, the big sharp new introduction, man.
I'm liking that.
Well, you heard it right there. I mean,
I'm loving it.
I mean, we can change it, but at least it's there. It's on the books now.
I think it sounds great, Robert. I think it sounds great. Again, as always, thanks for having me. I do love being here. Appreciate it, sir.
And we got the little shout out to Chicago Title there.
Yeah,
the title.
Chicago Title. Wynn Dubose, branch manager, 116 Northeast Street, Uvalde, Texas. Can reach us at 830-333-7050. Thought I'd hop in and give you all a few updates on some Spurs stuff. I wanted to start covering some Spurs numbers, and once the Astros and Rangers get going out of spring training, I'll start covering some of those scores as well. But Spurs, man, they've dropped the last three. On the 22nd, they lost 117-120 to the Raptors. 24th, they lost 118-130 to the Knicks. And then on the 25th, they dropped a pretty big one, 85-101 to the Nets.
Dropped a big one like in a toilet.
Didn't even think of it. I should have thought about that before I said it. I'm gonna get some flack in the text messages from that one.
It's all right. It's all right.
But hopefully they're gonna be playing again sometime this week. I'll cover some of those. I'll give you some updates next week on that. And like I said, we'll get into the Rangers and Astros once they get into some real games. And I understand that the spring training games are real games, but you understand what I'm saying.
Sure.
Thought I'd bounce around some big news. Baseball. Start with baseball.
Okay.
Nolan Arenado, he's a third baseman for the Rockies. Guy is unbelievable. Has multiple Gold Glove winner. Guy's just a stand-up dude, excellent hitter, one of the best players in the game. He signed a 268-year contract with the Rockies, extending his original team, which like we talked about in the past, Robert, I think that's awesome. Whenever guys give their teams the chance to pay them the money that they deserve, and the Rockies really stepped up, which was really neat about this contract is he's going to be the second highest payer per annual average. He's going to make $32.5 million next year. I know. I'd take the 0.5, my friend.
Man,
Goodness gracious. He's only second to Zach Greinke, who's an unbelievable pitcher. He's making $34.42 million a year. So tough life for those guys.
Boy, I tell you what, like I said last week, I got in the wrong business.
I know. Hey, man, I wish I had half the talent that those guys, and I'd be doing all right. But I thought I'd move on. Probably heard about the story. The Syracuse men's basketball head coach, his name's Jen Boehm. I'm probably mispronouncing that name, but last Wednesday he was in an accident where he actually struck and killed a pedestrian on a highway.
What?
Yeah. So
on a highway.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the story goes. There's this gentleman. His name was Jorge Jimenez. He was struck by Coach Boehm, and he was getting out of his vehicle. He was disabled on the highway, and it was darkened on the highway.
Right.
And they've done the district attorney William Fitzpatrick up there. They've done the investigation. It sounds like Coach Jim was in the right. He didn't do anything wrong. He was traveling within the speed limit or close to it, and that it was just one of those bad freak accidents. But looks like he's going to be cleared of everything, and they're going to be closing
so
the case.
foul play. Just
no foul play. Just wrong place.
Life happens kind of thing. Yeah,
wrong
man.
place. And I mean, condolences to the Jimenez family. That's a sad, sad deal. You don't ever want to hear about that. But I mean, obviously, it's sounds like it was a true accident, just a bad deal. So. Tough deal.
Well, that's
sad.
A bummer.
Yeah, it really is.
Sorry to hear that.
And I've got some more bad news for Cowboys fans, which they probably already know.
I think I heard a little bit about this.
Defensive end Randy Gregory has been suspended indefinitely for violating the substance abuse policy. So it's the fourth time he's hasn't passed his test.
Wow.
So this is
Now this is news to me. Fourth time.
Yes.
How is he still even on the team?
Well, he's not anymore, and that's the deal.
Right.
So yeah, but he was reinstated back a few months ago. 7 months ago, he was reinstated by Goodell, and he actually had a decent season this year. Through 14 games, he had 6 sacks and did decent for the team, and was starting to try to revitalize his career, but I mean, I think it's pretty cut and dry what you can and cannot do. And after, 3 strikes and you're out.
Okay, well, first of all, substance abuse. Now that could be like
marijuana.
Yeah, it could be recreational
cocaine,
drugs.
recreational
But
drugs.
could it also be like juicing up? Maybe
Exactly.
like
Oh, very
steroids,
much so.
right?
Yes. So steroids, HGH, anything like that.
So do we have any idea what he was busted for?
I don't have anything in front of me that says. It's just that he violated the substance abuse. I can do some more research, and I'll see if I can find out by next week.
Well, I'm wondering if since he had a pretty decent season, maybe he's just juicing up. Maybe he's
that
on the
could
roids
be
or
it.
something like that.
That could definitely be it. I don't know exactly what he got busted for.
Being a cowboy, we tend to automatically go to cocaine, heroin, or drugs, But I mean, he might just been strength enhancing or something like that.
Yeah, and I'll do some more vetting, and I'll find out, and I'll let you know that next week exactly. But some other bad news.
Well, first of all, this.
Yeah.
As far as the Cowboys go, is this a guy that we can afford to lose, or is easy? What do you think?
I mean, I think we do have some guys that can probably still bolster that defensive end lineup. I think we should be okay. I need to go back to my oracles, the guys that really plugged me in with the Dallas Cowboys, because I didn't have a chance to talk to them. They follow the Dallas Cowboys a little bit more in depth than I do. I'll find out for you exactly.
I like that how you have oracles.
Yeah, well, I mean,
That's awesome.
That's a reference from a TV show that had to do with some
Sports Oracles with Drew.
Yeah, so his name.
These, 3 weirdos hanging around.
I like it. Some other sad news, not overall bad, but Michael Crabtree used to play he's from Dallas originally. He's a Texas Tech legend there. Guy came up with the 49ers, one of the greatest players, to come out of Tech and all that stuff. He's now been released by the Ravens. And he actually, that was after 1 year into a 3-year contract. So they went ahead and dropped him for the last 2 years. And so he's no longer with the Ravens. And he was 54 passes for 607 yards and 3 touchdowns this past season. So it's a tough deal. Sad to see him go. I really, truly wish him the best. I've always followed him. He's really good as far as...
Well, any indicator where he's going to land?
Not yet, because this was very recent.
Just happened.
So
okay.
now he'll go into free agent, so he'll be able to be picked up. I see him being picked up. The guy still has it. I mean, he is one of the best in our era of playing that position. The guy is truly the real deal. So I really hope that he does find someplace. But
is there a particular reason why he was dropped?
Not yet. Not that I've been told. I mean, it's tough.
What do you think? You think it's just maybe a matter of overpaid for what he's bringing to the table?
Man, I think he was doing it. He had a $1 million contract, which is big. Don't get me wrong, but overall, in the big scheme of things, for that, I don't think that's a massive.
Was
contract.
he injured, maybe, or anything?
Not that I know of.
So maybe he just doesn't have the right team around him.
Yeah,
maybe?
might be not the right best fit for him and the team. Could be something that I don't think he's a real stand up guy. I've done a lot of research on him, and he really is a good philanthropist. Does a lot for charities, communities, and stuff. The guy's a really good guy, so I highly doubt it was something to do with personality or something off the field.
Right.
I think it had to probably 100% due to performance, where they thought he might have been lacking in some aspect. And it's a numbers game. Do you have somebody that's coming up? They might have, a draft guy that can take his spot and do just as good, and they don't have to pay him as much.
Yeah, free up some money, give it some more.
Yeah, and I'm sure that some of that stuff will come out, shake out in the news here pretty soon. But I'll keep an eye on it and definitely let y'all know. It's kind of a slow deal. I wanted to touch on this just because it was really neat. I'm not a wrestling guy, professional wrestling.
Yeah. Step into a Slim Jim.
I was. Oh man, I do.
Brother.
God. Macho Man Randy Savage, rest in peace, my friend. I loved him. Growing up, I was a huge Ultimate Warrior fan, but I thought that this was a really neat story. Roman Reigns, which he's kind of a heel, I guess you call it heel and babyface. Those are like the bad guys, good guys.
Right.
He's been a heel, but he came out a few months ago and stated that he had dealt with leukemia since he was 22. He's now 33.
Wow.
And had leukemia and came out a few months back and said that he was having to step away from the squared circle to take care of this. And he's now said that he's coming back and his leukemia is in remission.
Wow.
So I just really wanted to cover that.
Cool,
I thought that was a really neat story. It's not something I follow, but I totally respect that sport, what those guys do. People can call it fake all they want, but go get slammed onto one of those.
Hey.
You know what I mean?
Sports entertainment, man. It's
for
all
sure,
good.
exactly. And I think it's really neat that he's
and
able
it
to
still
come
requires workout and exercise.
Those guys are in incredible shape, and I think that it brings a ton of happiness to a lot of fans out there.
Good, clean family fun.
Yeah,
man.
exactly. And I think it's really neat. But overall, it was kind of a slow.
Hey, speaking of wrestling, I heard that Chris Hemsworth is going to be playing like Hulk Hogan.
Yeah,
did you hear about that?
Yeah, he's doing the biopic.
Yeah,
with
man, that's excited me.
That is.
That's excited me. Thor, Hulk Hogan,
seriously,
what? That's awesome.
For one, I love me some Hulk Hogan. I don't care what anybody says. The guy was awesome. He still is. And
he's the ultimate male.
He is.
Thunderlips.
God, he's had the greatest facial hair in the game since he came out.
Awesome.
I had a VHS, Robert, that I used to watch as a kid. Where
VHS?
Yes, I know. Where the Ultimate Warrior beat Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania. This was like 92, 93.
Wow.
And my parents would have to hide the tape from me because I would watch it, hit rewind, and start watching it again. And, they can only take it so many times.
That was like your Barney tape.
That was, man. Growing up, I haven't been in the game to...
Did you notice how we both got in like junior high mode when I said Hulk Hogan?
Yes.
That's awesome.
You can't help it.
It's awesome.
People, I hope people listening to this are like, oh, okay. Yeah, I remember Hogan, you know what I mean? But overall, Robert, kind of a slow week. I know once baseball starts up, we'll have some more stories and get going. And I know some of the NFL stuff's going to start shaking down before the season starts for the summer workouts and stuff. So there will be more information coming. I'll keep up with the Spurs. Hopefully they can turn it around, drop in their last 3. But I don't know, just one of those things. I know Kawhi Leonard leaving and stuff, and then you had some retirees and stuff. So it's just a tough deal for the Spurs right now.
I won't have any problem with the Mavs do okay, all right?
Oh, yeah. God,
Dallas boy!
Man,
Dallas
I forget
boy.
about that. Hey, all the respect to Dallas, but I think down here in South Texas, got a little bit more of the black and silver running through our veins.
I hear you. Believe me, I hear you. Yeah. Loud and clear. Well, that's good stuff, man. Again, KVOU Sports with Drew.
Yeah, and I love how that rhymes.
Brought to you by Chicago Title. Go ahead and plug the shop again.
Yeah, Chicago Title, 116 Northeast Street, Wynn Dubose, branch manager there. You can reach us at 830-333-7050. As always, Robert, I appreciate you having me, buddy.
Thank you, brother.
Real Country with Robert Miguel.
KVOU Sports with Drew, presented by Chicago Title.
On 104.9 Coyote Country.